Hello, beloved ones. We are here to talk with you at this time about the powerful changes that are taking place on your planet right now. We are the aspect of Zed that would like to assist you in incorporating new thoughts and new processes in your mental capacities so that you can transition through this magnificent shift more easily, more congruently, and more resonantly. It is a powerful time, and it feels to many of you like a time of darkness. And what we would say is there are aspects of not light. Those aspects are present on your planet because they were inserted into your planet outside of the original scheme. For the planet Earth was designed as a healing place, a place for souls and beings to come so that they could heal from their experiences in other galaxies and other universes and other planetary systems. And at some point in the evolution of the Earth itself, there became a time when forces infiltrated the planet and inserted into it what you call negativity. They inserted the aspects of fear, desperation, disappointment, hunger, rage, all of those things that would not be considered healing. And once planted, they began to grow, because you see, the Earth planet is a multiplier. It is a grower. It is a place of resource. And as those resources are being channeled, they will multiply and duplicate whatever is planted on them or in them. And so once that negativity was planted, it began to grow. And then the beings who came to the planetary system to begin their healing journey, to begin their recovery, to lick their wounds, if you will, brought with them resonances that were similar to those who were planted here. And so they watered them. And those negativities began to grow and spread. And many of you look on the planet in these days and say there's more negativity than there is positively. And we would tell you that while that seems the case, it is the awareness of the negativities that make it seem so overwhelming, so big, so huge, so expansive. It's just that you know that it is there now. For eons, it has been underground. The roots growing very deep and the sprouts above the ground in shadow. They're blooming now. So that those amongst you who are here to set the records straight, to realign the Earth to its original intention, to help with the shift towards universal partnership and equality, that sacred union that is next on the agenda for your planet. You must see these plants, you must see these growths so that you know what to prune and what to leave. it is an empowering time for you on your planet, though it does not seem that way. Many of you feel disempowered, not only in the Americas, but in all of the nations on the planet are feeling disempowerment in some way, shape, or form. It is time. And as all of the shadows are brought to light, it is imperative that all of the beings who wish to transform those shadows into light are actively doing their own shadow work. Because if they do not bring light to their own shadows, then they will simply resonate with those shadows that they're trying to prune. And instead of pruning and removing them, they will water them and fertilize them and encourage them to grow more. While it's expedient for those of you who are angry and upset and disillusioned and feeling victimized to take on the mantles of rage and ferocity and step into the warrior aspect to defeat and annihilate the enemy. And while we understand that is your natural response, we would tell you that annihilation only brings annihilation. And while we completely understand the rage, the fear, the victimization, the misunderstandings, the helplessness that is felt on your planet right now, we would encourage you to, instead of lashing out and moving forward in a vicious way, in an attacking way, in a warrior way, that instead you challenge that warrior frequency with divine wisdom and divine love and divine truth. Wisdom, love, and truth. Those are the foundations of the swords that you can wield that will indeed eradicate the shadows on the planet and help you evolve into the next phase that is scheduled for your planet. We do not mean that you tolerate victimhood. We do not mean that you tolerate less than. We mean that instead of reacting to those rages with a rage, with those victimizations, with feelings of victimhood or intentions to victimize others, that instead you stand in your own understanding as a divine, powerful being. You have access to the wisdom to disassemble the negative energies. You're not annihilating them. You're disassembling them. You're not overwhelming them and overturning them. You are dissolving them. That is how you win. And you dissolve them by no longer feeding them, no longer watering and fertilizing those negativities, those energies, those rages, those impassioned feelings and thoughts. And instead, you stand in what is capital T divine truth for you. You stand in divine love, which speaks truth to lies, which speaks truth to negativity, which speaks truth to all things. And while it may seem a daunting task, you are here on this planet, all of you, either for the evolution at this time or against the evolution at this time. And please be aware that there are more for the evolution than against. Even though it does not seem to be so, it is. And so while that is true, take heart in the understanding that there are more people on your planet who resonate with evolution than those who don't. Which means that all of you who believe in evolution, if you begin to resonate with evolution, then the evolution will happen because it will tip the scales. And those who are not evolved will begin to either leave the planet because they deselect themselves from the evolution, or they will acquiesce to the evolution and evolve as well. The prayers for the righteous are never the diminishing of another. They're the raising up of the all. And so if you must pray for something, pray that their vibrations be raised, because that is where the power is. There's no other way through. You cannot beat it into them. You cannot destroy it from them. You cannot eradicate them from the planet. They will choose to stay and evolve, or they will choose to leave. And you have the same choice. And we would encourage all of you who are of like mind, who are here for the evolution of this planet, that you choose wisely, you choose broadly, you choose higher vibrations, and you all, in all moments, in all times, on all frequencies, in all dimensions, that you pray that all beings' vibrations be raised. That will never be a negative. As the vibrations raise, the less connections beings have to those heavier, more negative, that you have termed, vibrations. They no longer have access to them. And that is exactly how it is designed for your planet to evolve at this time. The vibration shifts. And your planet herself, vibration will shift. There are many on the planet who are actively seeking, actively doing, actively raising the vibrations at all times. There is never a moment when she is not being fed from people on the planet, from people who have been sent as beings of light inside the planet, who are doing the work to help with the evolution. So you are not alone, but you must do your part. And that includes speaking truth, in making choices for those who govern, to include making sure that you are wielding your power in choosing those who govern. So you must vote. In choosing which countries you wish to affiliate yourself and your own resonance with, because your friends also, your alliances also become energetic entanglements that will either help you evolve faster or will keep you from evolving sooner. While that's a more complicated explanation that may not be necessary for most of you, there are many on your planet who need to know this. There are many on the planet right now who govern, who need to be aware that they are in this moment choosing their own part in the process of the evolution. And all beings are creating their own karma, their own consequences, their own energetic entanglements based on their choices. That is the way it always is. And while we encourage you to choose the choices that are most in alignment for you, we would further say, always choose the choice that is a higher vibration. It can never be wrong. The higher the vibration, the less negativity available, the less weight and heaviness, the less oppression, even if it is a lower vibration that you're starting with. Even a minuscule lightening to a higher vibration is still better. Always choose the higher vibration. It will be painful, it will be extensive, it will require choice and action on all beings on your planet. But all of you are here for this time. And remember, you are either here for or against. And you must be aware that every choice that you make is either for or against the evolution. As you're always reaching for the higher vibration, you will always be in the for category, because that is where the evolution is heading. If you find yourself reaching for the lower vibrations, understand that in that moment you are participating against the evolution. Be aware. Be prepared to change and shift. It is empowerment that you seek. It is empowerment that you came to give, and it is empowerment that you will continue to give. Listen to us, children of the earth, for we have your best interest at heart. We are also here for the evolution. We will never steer you wrong. Are there questions?
Hi Zed, my name is Cindy. It's very nice to meet you again. I would like to ask, besides the mental health or looking for guidance, is there anything else that we can do to prepare ourselves mentally for whatever is going to come? As in, like, does meditation help or?
Yes, Cindy, it is our pleasure to see you again. We enjoy your vibration very much because you are often full of joy.
Thank you.
It is imperative that each being be present with their own thoughts and their own shadow. So while meditation is helpful for those who are skilled in meditation and who use that as a tool to gather clarity, so that when they leave their meditation, they can put their clarity into action, then we would say that is a delightful pastime. It will be beneficial, it will be useful. For those who have not yet acquired the skill of meditation or who have tried it and do not prefer it, it is still very important that the shadow aspects of the mental capacities and the emotional capacities be acknowledged, be addressed, be released, and be repatterned towards the thoughts and emotions that the being itself desires, which we encourage and hope are a higher vibration. So while meditation is a wonderful tool, it is not the singular tool. It will require people becoming very clear and very honest with themselves on how they feel and what they want and what they are willing to do to change their own thoughts and emotions. Once they discover how to manage this in an empowering way for themselves, they will contribute to the ability for that to occur in their societies and in their cultures and on the planet as a whole. We are working with the one speaking to create an alignment academy so that we can teach beings on your planet how to do this well. Because it cannot be skipped. You cannot prune those weeds that you wish to prune if you're not aware that they're in your garden. More questions?
Thank you. Another question I have is, when people are aware of their own shadows and would like to work on them, but they have never reached out to anybody before and they're looking for support or help, is there anything that you would like to share with them where they need to pay attention to when they are looking for guidance?
The very best tool that works most effectively is an idea of journaling. And the reason that this works for those on your planet, even those who don't like it and don't prefer it, like the one speaking, but it's still very effective because what it allows you to do as you're writing, as you're typing, is to get out of your ego and step into the flow of what is true. So if you have the ability to begin to write how you feel about a particular situation, and you purge and you release and you allow that stuff to come out of your physicality and onto a piece of paper, it no longer belongs to you. It's no longer yours. And so when you do that, you have the ability to release that permanently. In releasing it permanently, you'll then fill that empty space with the higher vibration of what you prefer. But the most effective first step is acknowledging what you think and what you feel through that journaling process. Questions?
Yes, another one I have is, when it comes to people who are unconscious and they're focused on the negativity, is there anything that we can do in particular to show them that they are focusing on something negative, or is it something that will need to naturally happen for them to wake up, so to say?
That is a beautiful question, because what it does is it gives us the opportunity to talk with you about how you are examples for one another. So if you have someone in your family, in your workplace, in your domiciles, in your places of experience that are negative and consistently attached to their own victimization, their own anger, their own rage, their own hopelessness, and so forth, instead of engaging with them on that level, if you can offer them light. And it is not, as you're saying, Stop thinking about your victimhood and instead think about your empowerment, because they are not able to do such a thing. Instead, what you're doing is you will distract them from their own situation by offering them a laugh, by offering them an opportunity to shine and share something positive, to think of something that they are grateful for, to re-experience a memory that they have had that is joyful. Because you will never change a lower vibration into a higher vibration by going to a lower vibration. You cannot say to one who is feeling helpless, stop feeling helpless, because that also is a lower vibration. Instead, you would say to someone who's feeling helpless something that would give them a doorway towards the light. It could be something as simple as, I love how your eyes shine when you talk about your son. I love how your eyes sparkle when you laugh with your dog. Isn't it such a beautiful day? I love the fall. In those moments, you give them the opportunity of diversion, to step out of their own negativity, their own heaviness, their own desperation, their own fear, and for a moment to be in the light, in the higher vibration. And once they're in that higher vibration, then they can continue to move forward in that higher vibration. So if you have someone who is feeling helplessness and you remind them of their joy with their animal, I love how your face just lightens up and how much joy your little doggy gives you. And they say, oh, my little doggy is so wonderful. When we went outside, they rolled in the grass and it was so funny. They've shifted their vibration into that higher vibration. And from there, you can continue to ask them questions or encourage them to continue in that light. Your doggy is so funny and loves to play in the grass. What happened the last time they went for a swim? Oh, it was so funny, and they got my car all dirty, and it still smells like wet dog, and every time I get into my car and it smells like wet dog, it makes me laugh to remember how funny the puppy was when they went for a swim. This is an oversimplified example, but you understand where we're going. You can never tell someone to change and they change. You lead them on the path of change without telling them that's what you're doing. You just lead by example. Do you understand?
Yes, thank you. That was beautiful.
More questions?
I've got one more question, and not sure if you would like to say anything about this, but is there anything that you can share about the upcoming changes?
The upcoming changes are going to feel like war. They're going to feel like fighting for the light. And that is exactly what is going to be happening. But that fight cannot be through wielding weapons. It must be by standing in divine wisdom, divine love, and divine truth. There are some planetary changes that are going to be happening as the Earth shifts and repatterns her own vibration. There'll be wars and rumors of wars. There'll be activities that shock and appall. And in those moments, it's important for each of you to stand strong in knowing I am for the evolution. And if you keep that primary in your thoughts and in your emotions, and remember, every choice I make is for a higher vibration. No matter what it looks like, no matter what it smells like, no matter what it tastes like, no matter what it feels like, no matter what anything is experienced, it will shift. You are here for the evolution. Take your stands, speak your truth, vote your conscience, seek continuously the higher vibrations, and it will happen. It cannot be any other way. We would like to say that it's going to be simple as, but you have not taught yourselves how to shift your vibrations that easily and that quickly up until now. And there is dissonance between where you are and where you're going. And in that dissonance, it will be uncomfortable. It will feel uncomfortable. That is the way that shifting happens. And while we would love for it to be a uniform and consistent 1, 2, 3, you have not evolved as a society and as cultures, as a planetary unit to be able to shift that way at this time. That is what this time is for, is to get all of you into the ability to be able to shift more quickly, more instantaneously, more authentically, more clearly to the higher vibrations. Because this is not the final evolution on the planet. This is just the biggest one up until now. And as you're teaching your own selves how to do it, and your children how to do it, and your spouses and your friends and your family members and your business associates and your society and your planetary community how to do it, it will shift. And those who are not connected, who are not aligned, will leave the planet, and those who stay will continue to level up and level up and level up. Did that answer your question?
Yes, it did. Thank you very much, Seth.
You're very welcome. We love you very much.
I love you too.
We're grateful for all of you who are on your planet at this time, because this is an experience that must be transcended. It must be performed. It must be processed, for there is no other way. We're always with you. All of the spirit beings that are of the higher vibrations, that are reaching out to hold and welcome, to love and appreciate, to support and acknowledge each of you as you make your higher vibrational choices, are with you all the time, never ceasing, never ending. We're continuously offering you opportunities, awarenesses, vibrational shifts, and access. And we will never leave you or forsake you. For you are the ones who chose to be here. And so if you like, you can call yourselves the chosen ones because you chose it. And we are all here to assist, but we are only assistants. You must do your part. We offer you all much love, much comfort, much encouragement, because we know that this is designed for you to succeed. Now go forth and succeed. We love you without end.